Hello and welcome back to this video. Today we'll be taking a look at functions, so let's get right into that. So let's start off by actually looking at a function, because what is a better way to learn what it is than to look at it? And we've been working with one all this time actually. So see our int main here, all the way down to here. This is technically a function. It is a special function, but we won't quite cover that yet. So as you can see, a basic function will have a return type, as it's called here. In this case that is an int. Its name, it will have some of these, and we'll also talk about those later. And it will have some curly braces to house your code. So as you can see, all the way to here, inside of those curly braces are our code. So that brings us to this one, which is the closing curly brace, basically telling the computer that the function is over. So out of these return types, you should probably head over to the video about variables if you haven't watched that, but that video covers all the return types. But in addition to that, we have another return type, and that is basically to return nothing. So that return type is void, spelt like this. So let's actually start off by creating a function to this template. So let's quickly write out the template. Return type, if I can actually type, return type, name, and then in here our code. So what should we make a function for? Well, why don't we actually put this code here? Welcome the user to the game. Hello and welcome to Hangman, etc, 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 into this function. So will this return anything? Well, it only prints something out, so no, printing something out to the screen isn't really returning something. So what do we use? That's a question for you to answer, so why don't you do that now? Hello and welcome back. If you chose void, that is completely correct, good job. If not, then yeah, you got it wrong, but who cares about that? Just remember, if it returns absolutely nothing, you need to use void. So now the name, let's call this welcome user, as it's a descriptive name. Just like variables, functions should use descriptive names. And one thing to note is that you can't use welcome user twice, so if I make another int welcome user, no, that just wouldn't work. So now let's copy over this code and paste it into here. So now we've got our welcome user function all set up, so let's try and run this. Press any key to continue. Right, I don't quite think this called here. So what went wrong? We've clearly got our welcome user function set up, but we got something wrong. We actually need to call our function. So how do we call our function, and what is this? Let's first get into what is this. So calling a function is basically saying, hey computer, could you please run the code in welcome user for me? So then the computer will probably say okay, because it can only do what they tell it to do, and it doesn't really have a mind of its own right now. Would be cool if it gets it, but we're getting off topic. So when you call it, you're basically saying to the computer, run the code in this function. So in our case, it will welcome the user to the game. So now, how do we call this? So what we can do is call welcome user just like this. Just copy this over, paste it in here, and add a semicolon. So now let's run this again. Hello and welcome to Hangman. This is a word guessing game where you have to guess the word within a maximum amount of wrong guesses. If you have too many wrong guesses, you die. Press enter to continue and exit. So I told you that we were going to get back onto these things here. So what this is somewhere where you can declare the input to a function. So basically you can pass in, for example, a string. So then let's actually create a new function. Sorry, I'm kind of haven't done these tutorials for quite a while, so yeah. So let's create a function, another void function, and let's say print something. And let's then std cout, and then that's something. So now what we can do in here is define a string, because print something will probably want to use a string as. What do you use to store a word or a sentence? A string. So std string, not that.
String, like that.
And let's name this string my cool string. Now std cout my cool string. Let's use autocomplete for this. So now what we can do after welcome user is we can call print something, passing in hello YouTube. Actually, I should probably try to do it like this. Sorry for my typos, but my mic is right in front of my keyboard. So yeah. To run, press enter to continue. Hello YouTube. And what we can also do is create another string here. std string my second cool string is equal to hey guys, I am a cool string v2. No, not v1, v2. Like this. So now what we can do is pass in this here, so my second cool string. So now let's run this. Press enter to continue. Hey guys, I am a cool string v2. Press any key to continue. So I think this concludes our basic intro into functions. The last thing that we could do is use, for example, print concatenated, I think you spell it like that, string. Basically that means print two strings merged together. So we should all know how to do that. And let's put in my second cool string. Let's copy this. Let's write a semicolon on the end there. Then we can put the second one in there, my second cool string. Now let's get rid of this. So now what we can do here is hello, and then write a comma because we're passing in two things, and that is how it works. Hello and guys, with a space here because remember we aren't printing a space right here. So let's now try and run this again. And it is somehow erroring us because I am a jackass, and you should also write a comma here. Sorry about that. And it's still somehow not working. Print something is undefined. Well, we should probably update the name. So sorry about these errors, I'll try to fix that in post. But press enter to continue, and it will print to us hello guys. So I think this actually wraps up what we're doing, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, please leave a comment and then dislike instead of the other way around. And yeah, if you did like it, you could please leave a like and even consider subscribing. So anyway, I hope to see you next time.